Okay, good morning, everyone. Today may be a bit short, especially if we only have the current amount of students, but anyway, that's fine. So just to remind you what happened, so last week we had a quiz, and we also had Project Freed, which was due, and right now we have Project 4 also that is out. So Project 4 is a bit smaller of a project. You only have to implement 3 user flows. Again, 1 animation flow, that's up to you, whatever that would be, and 1 keyboard user flow. So basically using the keyboard keys. We're gonna go over that today a little bit. And another kind of more stringent requirements is that your code needs to be readable and illegible. So kind of you need to pretend as if you're submitting this to some sort of project manager in industry, your boss, to review, and you're gonna kind of ship it out to kind of others, customers, and so on. So it has to be very clean, organized. So we're gonna check that in the grade. Also, if you have like variable names that are kind of weird, like X1A, IT, B1, that's bad. Then each name should be self-explanatory. You need to pretend as if someone else is going to read your code and examine it. And here's like an example of the code. Let's open this. So you'll have like you can paint like this. It's basically more animation stuff. There's a couple of more components here, adding randomness to animation and such. But for our purposes, all you need to do is focus on this kind of one animation flow and 1 keyboard user flow. Okay? Any questions about that? Yeah.
Can we do more than 2 user flows, or does it only have to only be 2?
It says, okay, so what does it say? It says you need to implement 3 user flows, out of which 1 would be animation flow and 1 would be key user flow. If you want to implement 10 user flows, out of which 1 would be 1 animation flow and 1 keyboard user flow, that's fine.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do the keyboard user flows have to be like unique, or can they just be like adding like a keybind to modify an already existing?
This has to be something, if you're just reusing, we'll know that, yeah. Has to be something, Any other questions? Okay. I wanted to remind you also, this may be a good time to, in Canvas, we have, let's see, 201. So if you can all open Canvas for a second. So we have this, if you go to the class website, there's course evaluation right here. Third from the bottom. So right now the percentage is really low, I believe. So we would like, if you can just spend the next 2-3 minutes to evaluate. Right now only 1 person has replied out of a 20-person class. So I don't think it makes you justice for you or for future generation kind of button. So I would like to kind of connect a keyboard button to this. So this is the simplest kind of keyboard interaction you could probably do. So and if you remember, like this hide button is connected to some sort of function in our code. So that function would be show hide. This guy over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, every time the user presses escape, that will kind of hide this this UI. So the way to add that is pretty easy. Let's pause this for a second. Uh, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add like the new code over here. So if let's see, input. So it's kind of like like the mouse, but we're gonna use the keyboard now. Get key down. And that'll be like key code escape. So if this happens, then just do hide show UI. So we're just gonna kind of pretend as if every time this escape key is struck, then we're just gonna call this function, and that function is we're already using it every time we click on the button. So let's save this. And click play. And you can see if I click escape, it actually hides this UI, and everything is kind of nice and working. Any questions on that? No? So let's just add another thing here. Again, using this simple logic, let's have it. So if you remember, there was like an option here. Let's to kind of destroy the all the objects, clean objects, right? So let's add also a keyboard kind of input that uses that. So an example here would be, first of all, we already have the button that does that. So it's very simple just to reuse that button. So if we look for that where that button is being called, so this is the function that button calls, clean all objects. So we can just reuse that function and to get the effect that we want, which is destroying all these painted objects. So it'll be if input get key down key code. Let's just use a letter now just to show you something. D, like say letter D. Then clean on objects, and then you save it, and you can see that it will work in a second. So if I add D, it resets. So now, like, you may be asking, like, these keyboards instructions are not really clear, so we may want to kind of add some sort of UI label or UI kind of hint that people can use that. So if we go, let's create a new UI, a legacy, a text thing, and let's, where's this text? Oh, it's right here. So let's put it all the way up here and just maybe add some sort of hint text that tells the user that they can actually use those keys to do something. So let's just say click, what's the, okay. So just press escape to hide UI. Press D to delete all painted objects. Okay, and now I can, let's see. I just need to change this white a little bit. Let's make it like larger. And higher. And then like kind of just place it kind of somewhere nice. Where's that? This text. It doesn't let me move it for some reason. Why you're not letting me move you? Text. Yeah, now it's working. Like this. And let's move it a little bit more the other way. Not sure why it's like, for some reason it's stuck for me. I can just move it like this. I'm not sure why it's so insistent on not moving. 300 maybe. Yeah, okay. And then save. So that was like the easiest things you can do. Any questions? Okay. I apologize. So now let's like work on a more kind of complex thing. So what I would like to do now is I would like to move the camera with the keyboard. So let's look at the camera here. So the camera is basically, this is the view that you see from the camera. So what you want to do is you want to like say rotate left and right the camera, and then the camera would like rotate left and right. So if you look at the camera, there's a couple of there's X, Y, and Z rotations possible. So if you say rotate it in the X direction, it will go like downwards like this. So this is not something that you want. You actually want to rotate it like left and right. So let's see which one of these axes is the right one. So if I play around with the y-axis, that actually kind of gets me that left and right effect. So I would like my code to basically modify this rotation component here of the camera. Okay, so basically if I click left, that will change this rotation and go left. If I click right, that will change the rotation to go right. So but if you remember, every time we need to do any changes to any game object, we actually need to have it saved in our kind of script somehow. So let's do that first. So let's do like just create this new public game object, main camera. Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add like the user instructions here. So if input get key. So I want you to highlight there's a couple of key options here for keyboard interaction. There's get key down, and it says here it kind of triggers every time a key is pressed down. There's get key up, which triggers every time you release a keyboard key. And there's get key, which basically always is kind of true if the key is already pressed down. So what I would like to do, to have, if I press, say, the left arrow down and don't release, I would like the camera to continue rotating. So I'm going to use this get key option because that's the right kind of interaction I would like to do for that kind of pressed key. So let's do get key, and what is the key code? The key code, left arrow, okay. And my main camera, so what I would like to do is I would like to change its local rotation a little bit to be like left or right, okay? So, and we said that to do that we need to change this Y rotation. So that will be something we can do with new vector free, I don't know, something like this. Okay. So let's just do this also for the right key and see how that will work. So this will be right key, right arrow, and this should be something like so, because it's the other direction, right? So one direction is minus, one direction is the other. So, and these numbers may or may not work for you. Maybe you need like a higher number. It all depends on like, 0.05 is a number I picked because I tried this before at home, and I know it gives me, it doesn't rotate too much. It gives me the exactly the right amount of rotation. But for your code, you may need like a higher number or a smaller number. So if you click left, let's see. Okay, I have a problem. Oh, I forgot to assign my camera. So let's assign the camera. here, and let's click play again and see if this works. Okay, so as you can see now, it kind of does work. It does rotate my camera, which is pretty nifty. But the annoying thing is basically you can see this clock is kind of moving with the clock and the quad are kind of moving with the camera, and I want basically the clock and the quad to stay kind of in the same kind of place because they're kind of part of the UI. Does that make sense? So what I want to do is I want to figure out how to avoid the clock and this quad to rotate as I'm rotating the camera. Okay, so to do that, like let's look at this quad and clock. So in my code, the quad and the clock are kind of under UI. So if you remember, UI is kind of this entire. It's like an empty that contains all these UI elements, and the quad and clock are kind of the children of this UI element. And so if I, for example, if I deactivate the quad, that will take away the clock as well. So why am I telling you this story? So because so again, what we want to do is you want to prevent this clock and quad rotating when I'm rotating the camera. I want them to be stuck in the same kind of position. So to do that, you basically the most intuitive thing I would think, for me at least, so you may have a different solution, is to get the quad and the clock to rotate with the camera as the camera is rotating. So if you just kind of rotate the quad like this or like that, kind of like, it may not be exactly the same rotation as whatever the camera has, because this is under the UI object and this is under canvas, so these numbers may not be exactly the same amount of rotation as whatever your camera is rotating. What I would like to do is I would like to match these numbers that the camera has with my quad and clock. So basically, I want to kind of copy this transform to be exactly the same for this quad. And one way to do it is I'm just going to create a new empty. Create empty, and let's just call this camera follower. And I'm gonna again copy this transform, just copy it as it is, copy, position rolled, like this, and paste it here. Paste, position world. Okay, so now my camera follower game object, which is an empty, has the same transform exactly as the main camera. So let's move this guy over here, and maybe inside the UI, and then make it so it's the parent of this quad and clock. Okay, so now again, you can like just to be sure, you can see that the camera follower should have the exact same kind of numbers here as the camera. Let's see if we can just copy this again. Copy, position world, paste, position world. Not sure why it's not letting me now, but let's see if it works or not. I think it should be okay. Anyway, so again, the idea is as you're rotating the camera, this quad should stay in the same position. So let's add this as a input to our script and see if we can change it in the same way as when we're changing the camera. So let's add that camera follower. Where is this? Public game object. camera follower. Okay, and this what we're gonna do, we're just gonna copy the same code we had before here for this new object. So we're just gonna do exactly the same thing, like this. This is minus, save. And now remember, we need to drag this game object to our script. So let's drag this over here and click play. So let's see what happens now. So as you see, as I'm dragging now, this clock and quad are staying put. So basically, the clock and the quad are rotating with the camera, because I am basically you kind of so if I'm so what I did is, if I rotate the camera in, like, say 5 degrees or so, then the clock and quad are also going to rotate in 5 degrees or so, and you can probably see it a bit more clearly, like here. So they're not static. They're just kind of like, so basically, as I move my camera, the clock and the quad are also going to move in the same kind of rotation, and that's how I kind of create this effect as if the clock and the quad are stuck. So they're just rotating with the camera. Does it make sense what I'm talking about? Yeah? Okay, so what I would like to do now is I would like to kind of just kind of check where you are all at in terms of this mechanic, which kind of hides the UI. We have like this, press D to delete all the objects. And we also have the right and left kind of keyboard keys that rotate the camera. Okay. So what I would like to do now is I want to have a couple of canvases. So right now, where we're painting, it's only basically it's only one kind of giant canvas which you can paint on. But what I would like to do is I would like at multiple of these canvases, so the user can kind of switch between different canvases as they're painting. Maybe they have inspiration or something and they want to do a different kind of canvas suddenly. So the way I would do that is, and this is like a bit more nifty than what we saw so far, it's to create these canvases first of all somehow. So the main idea here is right now when we're painting these objects, they are basically parented to let's stop that. They're parented to this painting manager. So the intuition here is every time you're going to create so instead of parenting these like objects to the painting manager, I want to parent them with a canvas. And if I have, like, say 5 canvases, I can just switch between the canvases, and each canvas will have like a list of objects that's its children. So basically those objects are associated with that canvas instead of just with the painting manager. And then you can just kind of flip it quickly between canvases. So each canvas will have its own list of painted objects that you can use to paint. So that was like that was the intuition. Doesn't make sense, let me know. How I'm going to do this in practice? Well, let's so a couple of things. First of all, let's add a couple of game objects here that will help us kind of control the number of canvases. So let's say public max number of canvases, and this should be an int, and let's set it at 5, I don't know, and we need like to know which canvas are we at right now, so let's call this private and current canvas index. Okay, and we also want to have to know which to have like a kind of keep track of our current canvas. So let's call this private game object current canvas. Okay, so what I have here is I want to have 5 canvases. I want to know which my current canvas is. That's the game object, and I want to keep track. Like, so I want to basically, if I click up or down, I can just use this integer to move between the canvases, like an identifier. So first of all, we need to create these canvases, and if you remember, the start function here is where you create stuff only once in the beginning when the code runs. So let's do that. So int counter equals 0 while counter is smaller than max number of canvases. Uh, let's just create canvases. Game object canvas is equal to new game object. So our canvas is basically like an empty that has a lot of child elements. So, and the way to create an empty is just to use this new game object function. So let me just write down this creates an empty game object. Okay. And now I want to, this is something you have not seen before, so I actually want to change its name as I'm creating this object. So the way to do that is just to use the .name command. So let's change its name to something like canvas plus counter. And what else do I want to do? I also want to increment this by 1. So I'm not stuck in an endless loop. And I also want to set its kind of transform to be the same as my current transform. Transform parent. Oh, actually, I want to parent it with my current painting manager. This transform. So this creates our canvases. Let's run it and just show you what it does. So if I click play, now you can see I have created my canvases here under the painting manager. But my objects, when I paint them, they're still not associated with these canvases. So that's what I basically what I want to do. The next step I'm going to take is to, when I paint these objects, if I'm on canvas 0, they will be a child of canvas 0. And if I'm saying canvas 1 and I'm painting, they will be a child of canvas 1 and so on. And then later on, what I want to do is I want to have like the keyboard somehow make me be able to switch between the canvases as I'm painting. So let's just do a couple of bookkeeping things. So I added, let's see, I added all these variables to kind of help me manage those canvases. So let me set the current canvas equals to 0. And let's actually maybe before I can just show you this right now. So let's set the current canvas also. So right now you have all these canvases. Let me show you. All these canvases are like under the painting manager. So what I want to do is I want to, kind of have some sort of way to track which canvas I'm on. So to do that, I'm going to use this current canvas game object. And like the easiest way we can kind of have it track whatever canvas I'm on is just to use the name of the canvas. So that will be something like transform find canvas and then plus current canvas index, something like this. Oh, and then this should be a game object also. So what this does, it basically helps me find which canvas I'm on using the name of the canvas. And then I want to change the name of the canvas to something else. But let me just, first of all, okay. So this is just more bookkeeping stuff. And so before I move on, I actually want to have a label that says which canvas I'm on right now, so it's like less confusing. So let's add that label here. So if you add UI, let's do UI, legacy, text, and this should be like a canvas indicator in canvas indicator, and move this here under UI. And so what I want to have this say is basically just tell me which canvas I'm on right now, so I can like quickly kind of know where I'm painting. And then just put this. I can put it down here. Then that's okay. So this will be canvas, whatever 0. And I'm gonna use the same logic as before. I'm gonna just change the text of this while I'm switching canvases. Oh, actually I forgot to stop, so I need to do this again. So a UI, legacy, text, here, canvas, and then it's no, and then this will be canvas label. And we need to add this guy to our code as well. So painting manager. So the way to do it is kind of just add another text field. Text public text canvas label. Save. And now just drag this canvas label over here. Canvas label. And now we just need to modify the text. Canvas label dot text equals current net canvas dot name. Okay, that was a lot of talk. Let's see what happens. Click play. Okay, all that happens now just changes to 0. Okay, so now I want my arrow keys to change the canvas I am at. Okay, so let's just add that mechanic. So if you go, where's the keyboard stuff? Here. Let's just add like, so what I want to do is I want to use the up and down keys to change the canvas. So if if input get key down, key code up arrow. Okay, so that will kind of flip the canvas up or down. So let's make this current canvas index should be current canvas index -1, and then I have to just reuse these commands as we just saw before. All these commands here. Okay. Okay. So what is the problem with this line? I have a bug here. If I have 4 canvases, and right now I'm in canvas number 0. This line will make it so I'm going to go to canvas number -1, right? Do I have a canvas -1? No, I do not have a canvas -1 because it's gonna like kind of yell at me. I only have canvases 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 if I have 5 canvases, for example. So I need to kind of make it so it doesn't go below 0. So I'm just gonna use a max function here, math f dot max 0, this and that. Is that correct? I think so. Why is it yelling at me? Okay. And let's see. What else do I want to do here? So that does that. Let's just do the same thing for the bottom arrow. So down. What is it? Down, up, down, arrow, and that should be math my min between just +1, and then I'm not gonna let it go beyond the number of canvases I have. Max number of canvases -1. Okay, so again, this is a lot of boilerplate code just to keep tabs on my canvases, but let's see what happens. So if I click play, and now as I click up and down, I'm switching between the canvases. You can see it by this bottom indicator here, this text right here. Okay. I still am not switching between I'm not really doing any painting changes. I'm just kind of checking that this canvas is working, this canvas switching. So now I want to actually kind of put everything together and actually make it work so it doesn't, so it actually kind of associates these paintable objects with this canvas kind of game object. So the easiest way to do this is have kind of the current canvas be the parent when you're painting, and to do that you just need to search for this transform or something, and see in the code and just change it in the code wherever it is. It's using that property to change something. So here, for example, I found it's using in clean all objects, so I'm just going to change this to current canvas. Change side, this also be current canvas. This also be current canvas. What else? Let's just see wherever the keyword this is kind of is. This should be current canvas, game object. So this is fine. So I think I change animation is current canvas. So I'm just going to change wherever it says this to be under current canvas. So I may have overdone it. Let's see. I may have created a bug here, but I'm just going to go with my intuition. I think this should be fine. Let's save this and see what happens. So if I click paint and so I can switch canvases, and you can see as I'm painting stuff, each canvas here has its own collection of these painted objects. So let's go to say canvas free or something. So I'm now at free. If I paint, it's gonna go under free. So that's good. But the bugger here is that all the paintable objects are still right on the screen. So I want to basically hide those objects when I'm moving between canvases. So the way to do it is basically just to set them to be either active or not active. So let's go to canvas. And if you remember from the hide UI mechanic, hide UI, we use that set active command to either hide or show a game object. So let's just use that. So it'll be current canvas false. So we're gonna basically turn the current canvas false and then set it to be on. And that should kind of fix this hiding and showing of the game objects. So let's add this. Save. And if I click play, okay, and now let's just cancel this. So if I click play and I move here, and you can see, so as I paint, and let's just do some other paint. I know. So I can actually move between the canvases with up and down, and as I'm moving, it shows me the previous kind of objects that were there. So let's go to canvas number 4, for example. I can paint this, go up, and I'm back to where I was before. And let's just do like something like so. So you can see it kind of works nicely. Okay, so what did I do here? So again, let's recap. I first of all created a couple of game objects, empty game objects, and I just changed their name to be called canvas. And then I am tracking the current canvas I am on using this integer current canvas index. So every time I click up or down, I'm going to change this to be to a different number, to be either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. And based on that number, I can grab this game object here under the painting manager. And this game object is basically like another empty that holds all my paintable objects. So so that's the kind of the busy work I did. And after I got all of this in, then I actually need to add the keyboard interactions here. And the keyboard interactions are basically kind of just, all they do is basically flip the index of the current canvas I'm working on, grabbing that canvas based on this index, finding the name of the canvas, and setting it to be active. So what I'm doing every time I'm having either up arrow or down arrow, I deactivate the current canvas with false, find the new canvas I'm working on, and activate it with true. So let's show you this again. So let's just so right now, as you can see also here on this kind of hierarchy, it kind of grays out canvases that I'm not working on right now. So for example, canvas 0 is on because that's where I am right now. Now I'm at canvas 1. Canvas 4 is on right now because that's where I have moved to with my kind of up and down arrows. Now I'm at canvas 3, canvas 2, and so on. So that's how it works. Any questions? So what I would like to do, and this is like enough time, is I would like to help you get to this point in your code if you want to. Otherwise, I'm available here for any questions that you have. Let's just add another small thing here just to kind of clarify this point. So press up or down arrows to change canvases. You change the canvas you are painting on. Okay, and this should be like, I don't know, 80. Okay. So I have covered all the keyboard instructions I wanted to. And if you don't have this yet working on your side, I'm here to help you get it to work. If you want to do something else or go home.
Oh yeah,